Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy, merry 6th day of Christmas and Happy New Year. And welcome. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Buffalo. Whoever you are, wherever you came from, however you got here, we're glad you're here. We're going to do some interesting stuff this morning. I'm Fran Manley, and I will be leading the service along with my partner here, Shaun Doyle, who's, for some of you, is hiding behind the screen, but he will soon be thoroughly in evidence. We are blessed to be here together to share truths, stories, and spirituality in this beautiful place which sits on the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee people, who continue to call for justice and self-determination. Now, before I go farther, if on your way in you did not stop by one of the music stands and pick up 2 pieces of paper, one colored one and one white one, this would be a good time while I'm doing announcements to go and get one. If you need a pencil, you can take one of ours. If you borrow one of our pencils, please return them at the end of the service so we will have them next time we need them. Okay, good. I'm glad I said that. Not a lot of announcements this morning. The Banned Books Club meets this Wednesday at 7 p.m. in the Marge Gardner Room. This month's book is by James Baldwin, Go Tell It on the Mountain. I'm about 3/4 of the way through it. It is terrific. But new members are always welcome. If you'd like more information, see Sharon Walker. I think Mary Lou is not here, but Sharon Walker can tell you more about it if you need more information. Welcome to all of you who are out there in YouTube land. This is a very participatory service, so sadly you won't be able to fully do the things that we're doing, but I hope you'll be able to follow along and think about it and participate in spirit, if not totally in body. And special thanks this morning go to our indefatigable, I've never said that out loud, indefatigable tech crew who showed up on a holiday to keep the things moving. Josh and John, I believe, are here this morning to, yes, do that. And our musicians who also came in on a holiday to give us our usual wonderful music, so it is wonderful that we are all here. I think that's all the announcements that I have, although there are more in the insert in your order of service, including a couple of things that will be coming up before too long. So be sure to take that home and read it and make sure you don't miss anything that you would like to be part of. And now let us take a moment to greet our neighbors, to say Happy New Year, to maybe to somebody you don't even know yet, and maybe start a conversation that you'll continue later on in the coffee hour after church. Let's do it. I pulled the mic down, so you may need to.
Thank you. If you had the chance to start again, to make your life from scratch, to decide what sort of person you would be, who you would love, and how the content of your days, your hours, what songs you would sing to yourself or with others, what prayers would you let fall from your lips, urgently and with praise, with mercy or hope? What blessings would you name and share with strangers and friends? If you could take now that first step, what journey would you begin across deserts or mountains? Or would you take to the sky, which, despite the bitter cold, is still vast and filled with light? What work would you take? What mischief would you make? With boldness and bravery, what failure would you embrace? And what would you release? And where, in the end, would you return and call home? In this new day, on the brink of a new year, no magic wishing or wondering is required, for such a chance is always available. As with the in and out of our breath, to begin now, to live like we mean it, to see with new eyes the life that is already and always available, to respond to this gift with wonder and gratitude, to join in this partnership, to tend to this flame, even when it breaks our heart, to keep showing up, to go with courage into this dawning day. It is good to be together again.
We gather on the eve of the new year, saddened by our losses, cherishing our joys, aware of our failures, mindful of days gone by. We gather on the cusp of this new year, eager to begin anew, hopeful for what lies ahead, promising to make changes, anticipating tomorrows and tomorrows. We join one another in embracing all that life offers, the good and the bad, the endings and the beginnings, the light and the dark. Please rise in body or spirit and join in our unison words for chalice lighting. We gather in loving community, creating a shared vision of compassion and dignity for all, to radically transform the world in which we live. And now I invite you to please remain standing and join us in singing hymn number 331 in your gray hymnal, Life is the Greatest Gift of All.
Thank you.
I am thrilled to be doing the children's story today. I don't believe there's a child in the building. Dan, thank you for waving your hand. So I want you all to, we're all children at heart, right? So I want you all to enjoy this book called After the Fall, How Humpty Dumpty Got Back Up Again. And this book is by Dan Shanant. And yes, sure. Santat, like I said. All right. How Humpty Dumpty Got Back Up Again. Look how cute. My name is Humpty Dumpty. This was my favorite spot, high up on the wall. I know, it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I loved being close to the birds. Then one day, I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident, but it changed my life. Fortunately, all the king's men arranged to put me back together. There were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. After that day, I became afraid of heights. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. Look at all that cereal. I walked past the wall every day, and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really missed the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew that accidents can happen. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. Then one day, an idea flew by. Making planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get cuts and scratches. But day after day, I kept trying and trying until I got it just right. My plane was perfect, and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but it was close enough. Unfortunately, accidents happen. They always do. I decided I was going to climb that wall. I almost walked away again, but then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it. I was terrified. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing, one step at a time, until I was no longer afraid. Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Hopefully, you'll remember me as the egg who got back up. Whoop, and learned how to fly. Life begins when you get back up. The end.
Each week, we take a good portion of our Sunday offering and give it away to a social justice cause in the larger community. This month, we're supporting Family Promise, a unique homeless shelter for families, including men and teen boys, who are searching for permanent housing. Family Promise provides not just shelter, but connections to supportive services and a chance to rebuild confidence. To support our church and our Share the Plate ministry, you can drop a check or cash in the offering plate. You can use PayPal by going to our website, or you can send a check to the church through the mail, or you can arrange a regular automatic deposit with your bank. If your offering is in the form of a check, please indicate on the memo line whether it is for Share the Plate ministry or your 2023 pledge. Let us give generously to support our church and its wide concerns.
I'm Frank.
I'm Mary.
And I'm Charlie, and this friendship's motto is,
Here's to us.
Who's like us?
damn few.
Hey, old friend, are you okay? Old friend, what do you say? Old friend, are we or are we unique? Time goes by, everything else keeps changing. You and I, we get continued next week. Most friends fade or they don't make the grade. New ones are quickly made, and in a pinch, sure they'll do. But us, old friend, what's to discuss, old friend? Here's to us, who's like us, damned few.
So, old friend, fill me in slow. Old friend, start from hello. Old friend, I want the when, where, and how. Old friends do tend to become old habit. Never knew how much I missed you till now. Most friends fade or they don't make the grade. New ones are quickly made. Some of them worth something too. But us, old friends, what's to discuss, old friends?
Tell you something, good friends point out your lies, whereas old friends live and let live.
Good friends like and advise, whereas old friends love and forgive.
And old friends let you go your own way.
Help you find your own way.
Let you off when you're wrong.
If you're wrong,
When you're wrong,
Right or wrong, the point is old friends shouldn't care if you're wrong.
should, but not for too long.
what's too long?
If you're wrong,
When you're
The
wrong,
thing is, old friends do leave their brands on you, but old friends shouldn't compete.
old friends don't make demands on you.
should make demands on you.
Well, don't make demands you can't meet.
Well, what's the point of demands you can meet?
Well, there's a time for demands, whether you meet them or not.
I've been trying to tell you for the
short. You
last
should hold us to a
50
higher
years that I have
standard.
dreams too.
Hey,
Old friends, how do we stay? Old friends, who is to say? Old friends, how an old friendship survives. One day, chums having a laugh a minute. One day comes and they're a part of your lives. New friends pour through the revolving door. Maybe there's one that's more. If you find one, that'll do. But us, old friends, what's to discuss, old friends?
Here's to us.
Who's like us? Two old friends, fewer won't do. Old friends, gotta have two old friends helping you balance along. One upbraids you for your faults and fancies.
one persuades you that the other one's wrong.
Most friends fade or they don't make the grade. New ones are quickly
Damn you.
After all that excitement, I think we need a deep breath. Let's have a nice, deep, slow breath. And let us join our hearts and minds in a time of prayer, reflection, and meditation. Great Spirit of life, as the new year begins, we turn inward to reflect on the state of our lives. What lessons have we learned in the past year? And what new ones now call us forward? To whom do we still owe an apology or an expression of thanks? And with whom must we draw fresh boundaries? As we pause from our regular rhythms of rush, 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 we open ourselves to new perspectives and new possibilities. We give thanks for these moments and for the wisdom they afford us. May they help bring us together in the sacred dynamics of life so that we as individuals and as members of this community might reach our full potential. As we step across this threshold, let this new year be a year of greater awe and gratitude, of deeper kindness and acceptance, and more courageous acts of conviction. For a kinder, more equitable, and sustainable world is not only possible, she is on her way. And in the quietness of this sacred community, we can ever hear her breathing. And now, into this holy silence, let us speak the names of friends and loved ones who are in our hearts today, those suffering in pain and sorrow, those celebrating in joy. The breath of nature is upon us, the spirit of life is within us, and the community of love is around us. So be it, blessed be, and let the church say, Amen.
Ooh, thanks, old friend. Ooh, keep reminding me. Frank's old friends always seem to come through. Frank will too. So, old friends, now it's time to start growing up, taking charge, seeing things as they are, facing facts, not escaping shaping them still with dreams, just reshaping them, growing up. Charlie is a hothead, Charlie won't budge. Charlie is a friend. Charlie is a screamer, Charlie won't bend. Charlie's in your corner. Mary is a dreamer, Mary's a friend. Mary is a nudge. Mary is a purist, Charlie's a judge. Charlie is a dropout, everything's a cop-out. Why is it we don't want old friends to make change? Every road has its turning, that's the way you keep burning. So old friends, don't you see we can have it all? Moving on, getting out of the past. Solving dreams, not just trusting them, taking dreams, readjusting them, growing up. Growing up, growing up. Being flexible, bending with the road, adding dreams where the others won't last. Growing up, understanding that growing never ends. Like old dreams, some old dreams, like old friends.
Our service this morning is structured around a powerful 4-point spiral developed by environmentalist Joanna Macy. The spiral maps a journey through 4 successive stages, coming from gratitude, honoring our pain, letting go, and going forth. These 4 stages help us experience firsthand that we are larger, stronger, deeper, and more creative than we have been brought up to believe. Let us begin with this reading by Derek Walcott called Love After Love. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, "Sit here, eat." You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread. Give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit. Feast on your life.
The first stop on our 4-point spiral is to ground ourselves in gratitude. When you came in, you took 2 pieces of paper. One is for our letting go communion, and the colored paper, the origami paper, is for today's gratitude ritual. In a moment, James is going to start to play something on piano, in a moment. During that time, consider something or things for which you feel gratitude. You're going to write that thing or things onto the colored piece of paper. I'll ring a chime at the end of your time and then give you further instructions. Just so you know, someone else is going to see what you wrote. So keep that in mind. Go ahead, James. I offer these words from the Buddhist teacher Sharon Salzberg to inspire you. I encourage myself to remember that being grateful doesn't mean I have to keep a gratitude jar that counts my blessings. It just means I can reset my thoughts, just like in meditation, and choose instead to gently settle my attention on something positive. We don't erase the pain. It's still there. But we can broaden our perspective by opening to our pain and also opening to things other than the suffering we feel. Take a look at what you've written on your piece of paper. Really look. And now fold it up, I would say 2 or 3 times. All right, so we have 3 helpers that are going to help you collect these. If you could start passing everything down toward the center, and Ken on stage left, Beth on stage right, and Sharon, stage right, are going to collect them.
I told them to start at the back and come up.
They're going to start at the back and then come up. So the person at the very end of the aisle should have a handful of these. Thank you so much. So now what's going to happen is, Beth, your side, and Ken, you're switching, right? And then Sharon, you're going to give yours to somebody. Yes, because you're going to end up getting a different one. So go ahead and take one and then pass them down. Go ahead. And you should have something someone's grateful for from the other side of the room. It won't be exactly even, but we'll work it out. Ken is trying to communicate something to us. Does everybody have one? Okay, they're coming around. Is this the most you thing you've ever seen? You know, just pause until we do it. All right. Oh, this is great. So now does everybody have one? Okay, great. Feel free to open it up and read silently to yourself what is written there. Together, we are going to speak aloud what is written on the paper. If there are several things written on the paper, choose one word that sort of captures the thought. And when I say to speak, you will speak aloud, remembering that you are tenderly holding something dear to someone in the room. So now that you have that, on the count of 3, speak aloud what is written on the paper in your hand. 1, 2, 3. So now it's out there. It's out there in the universe. Keep this piece of paper somewhere safe, for you are holding the gift of someone else's gratitude revealed on that piece of paper. You are now the tender keeper of someone else's inspiration for gratitude, and someone is the keeper of yours. See if you can keep this paper with you to remind you in those times that it's hard to remember your blessings, and may I add, that we are all connected in gratitude as well. Know that as you hold theirs, they hold yours, which is how we live out the interdependent web of existence.
Most of the messages we hear in our cultures encourage us to push away our pain, to deny it or minimize it, to turn it into some life lesson that makes us wiser or stronger. Yet it is important for our physical health, our emotional health, and our spiritual health to acknowledge the pain in our lives, the loss, the disappointments, the betrayals, the hurts. to give pain its due, that we might move through it to find what is on the other side. And so our second stop in this 4-point spiral is to honor our pain. First, you will hear the text I'll read, and then music will start. At that point, you're invited, as you are so moved, to come forward and add a stone to our weeping well, as Shaun will now demonstrate. We did this at an earlier service, at the All Souls service, so some of you may have done this before. As you do so, don't drop it too splashy. Go ahead. You may want to hold that stone. As you do so, you may do it silently or whisper the pain that you're naming and honoring. You may want to hold that stone close in your fist or close to your chest as you bring your attention to the task of giving the pain a name. And as each of us adds our glass stone, it may be that the well will overflow, weeping for the pain in our lives and in the world. Let us begin. Now, Shaun will add one last stone for all the pain that goes unrecognized, all the harm that has not stopped, and for those who are not with us today, but who would want us to honor their pain. And now poet May Sarton offers us this New Year resolve. The time, excuse me, the time has come to stop allowing the clutter to clutter my mind. Like dirty snow, shove it off and find clear time, clear water. Time for a change. Let silence in like a cat who has sat at my door, neither wild nor strange, hoping for food from my store and shivering on the mat. Let silence in. She will rarely speak or mew. She will sleep on my bed. And all that I have ever been, either false or true, will live again in my head. For it is now or not, as old age silts the stream, to shove away the clutter, to untie every knot, to take time to dream, to come back to still water.
Now, this is our opportunity to shift, to see in new ways. It's also the chance, rather than clinging to pain, to practice letting it go. We can think about it as rather than making a clean new slate for the new year, we can consider it as the Reverend Claudia Naylor described it as leaving behind last year's baggage, not by denying facts or events, but by subtracting the emotional content so that we can get the lesson, get going, and get growing again. Or consider this wisdom from the poet Lucille Clifton. Do we need to forgive ourselves? I am running into a new year, and the old years blow back like a wind that I catch in my hair. Like strong fingers, like all my old promises, and it will be hard to let go of what I said to myself, about myself when I was 16 and 26 and 36 and even 56. But I am running into a new year, and I beg what I love, and I leave to forgive me. In a few moments, you will be invited to reflect on what you want to let go of from the past year, or from the whole past. The other piece of paper that you may have taken is a dissolving piece of paper. What we will do is write down on that other special piece of paper something we want to let go of. Let me affirm that we are rational people here who highly prize reason. We recognize that there is no magic at work here. If you write the name of a despised political leader or a past event or a loss that has already happened, you cannot and will not make it disappear. But if you are seeking to change your relationship to that thing you write down, wanting to not be so burdened by its presence in your life, seeking to shift the emotional energy you bring to it, this ritual just might add to the momentum you are already bringing. Perhaps you might entertain these questions. What parts of your life, what things, ideas, people, ways of living have become obstacles to becoming the person you want to be, the person that you need to be? What's holding you back? What's getting in the way of you living as fully as you'd like to? What might you dissolve away? What will you relinquish? If you choose, please write down what you would like to let go of. And as you are moved, come forward to this bowl and place your paper in the bowl and watch it dissolve. If you choose to write something down and dissolve at home, that is fine as well. But the bowl is here. James is going to play something on the piano. And if you write down what you want, Fran is going to supervise. Write down something you would like to let go of, and then watch it dissolve. These words are for you from the Reverend Victoria Weinstein. May what you have released here be forever gone from your spirit and cease to trouble you. May you be relieved and renewed, ever mindful that love is always more powerful than fear, and that compassion is the key to freedom from resentment.
We've now reached the final point on our 4-point spiral. We started by grounding ourselves in gratitude. We moved to name and honor our pain. And then we chose to let go and see with new eyes, letting go and releasing the old into something made different, perhaps made new. Now we go forth into a new year with this blessing for a new beginning from John O'Donohue. In out-of-the-way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to emerge. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight, when your courage kindled and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. Now I invite you to rise in body or spirit as we sing together hymn number 345, With Joy We Claim the Growing Light.
Please remain standing, if you choose, and join us in extinguishing the chalice with the words written in your order of service. As we extinguish the flame of this chalice, may we carry its light with us into the world in the power of peace, faith, justice, and love. Let us begin again in love. Having let go, set our intentions, named our curiosity, committed to our energies, and given ourselves over to lives of balance, purpose, and meaning, let us begin again in love. May we live this day compassionate of heart, clear in word, gracious in awareness, courageous in thought, and generous in love.